today we will be discussing the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, RA number 10533, and the RA 8371, or the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act. So these two laws, or the RA 10533, or the Enhanced Basic Education Act, and RA 837, or Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act. The main ideas of these two laws is, or the aim of this law is to improve the education and protect indigenous cultures. So, mamaya mag-dig deeper tayo, but then, that is an, insight about these two laws. So, now let's define what is the RA 10533, or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. So this law introduced the K-12 program to make education globally competitive and holistic. So dito sa RA na to, dito na na-introduce ang K-12, which is from grade 7 to, or from kindergarten to grade 12 or senior high, which is nag-add sila ng 2 more years para daw yung learning, or to make the education globally competitive and holistic, and also to prepare those mga estudyante or the students na maging prepare para sa future and for the tertiary level ng education. So next we have RA 8371, which means, or refers to it refers to Protects Indigenous Rights Act and Heritage. So dito naman sa 8371 na ito, they proposed a law na, what you call this one? Nag-propose sila ng law para at least yung mga indigenous people natin, hindi sila basta-basta lang, kumbaga, let's say na lang na parang i-etchapwera baga. Kasi, sometimes, yung mga ibang tao, pag nakakita sila, or there's indigenous people na nakatira dyan, sa lugar na yan, which is sa kanila naman, but then, pag yung government na ang nagpaalis sa kanila, or yung someone na may, let's say, power, kaya nilang paalisin lang ng basta-basta yung mga indigenous people natin. But then, meron ng law about, or para sa kanila, para at least at least naman maprotektahan nila yung sarili, and then at the same time yung mga lands nila doon, which is sa kanila naman talaga. So, let's proceed to the learning objectives. So, first, we have understanding RA 10533, or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. First is to explain the key features of the K-12 program. Second is to recognize the importance of curriculum enhancement, teacher training, and career guidance. Third is to appreciate how RA 10533 prepares students for global objectives and global competitiveness and lifelong learning. Second, we have the understanding the RA 837, or the Indigenous People Rights Act of 1997, or the IPRA in short. First, in the understanding the RA 837, we have this: identify the 4 bundles of rights guaranteed to ICC's and IP's ancestral domains. Those are the ancestral domains, self-governance, social justice, and cultural integrity. Second, we have recognize the significance of protecting ancestral lands, traditions, and indigenous knowledge. Last, and the third one is the appreciate the role of IPs as active partners in nation building. So for the introduction, we have education and cultural identity are vital pillars of National Development. Republic Act number 10533, also known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013 revolutionized the Philippine education system through the K-12 program. So, dito na-introduce yung, what's this? The K-12 or na-revolutionize na siya ang Philippine education system natin into K-12 kasi dati from K-10 lang siya. But then they proposed this na which is dito na-introduce yung K-12 program. So this law is aiming to make Filipino graduates globally competitive, as I mentioned earlier, and holistically developed and ready for higher education, employment, and lifelong learning. Kasi dito sa sa Republic Act 10533, which is, sabi nila, when you graduated in a senior high, in your senior high, you can you can apply a work or job. But then ngayon parang ginabaliwala lang nila kasi they need those credentials na hindi pa naman kaya or wala pa namang ganon kapag nag-graduate ka ng senior high. And then the K-12 program is to prepare the students into na maging ready into a higher education, which is yung sa tertiary level natin. And then also lifelong learning ng mga estudyante. So next, we have complementing this is a Republic Act number 8371, or the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997, or the IPRA, which safeguards the rights, traditions, and ancestral domains of indigenous cultural communities, or the ICCs, and indigenous peoples, or the IPs. So dito sa act na to, as I mentioned earlier, that this law is to is created for the indigenous people para at least meron silang rights. Kung halimbawa man na may magpalayas sa kanila dun sa lugar nila, kahit sa kanila naman yun, no? And then hindi lang yun, this law safeguards the traditions also and the ancestral domains of the indigenous people, especially yung mga nakaugalian na nila, para pag sa another generation meron naman silang maituro. So this law is created for for indigenous peoples. Okay, so now let's continue, So understanding the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, or the 10533. So Republic Act number 10533, or known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, is a pivotal law transforming the Philippine education system. So dito sa law na to, gitransform na ang Philippine education system natin. And then it addresses the need for global competitive education system by strengthening the curriculum and extending the years of basic education. So another thing, dito sa law na to, nag-add sila ng 2 more years para maging globally competitive yung education system natin dito sa Pilipinas. And then, in order for the education na maging globally competitive, yung education system natin dito is by strengthening those mga curriculum para at least maging empowered or knowledgeable enough naman yung, or the acquaintance na kailangan ng mga estudyante is ma-impart sa kanila by imparting them by extending the years of the basic education. Kaya siya naging K to 12. Extending the years or extending 2 more years para maging globally competitive yung education system natin. And then, this act allocates the necessary funds and resources to support this comprehensive educational reform. So, ito sa act na to, no, which is, it allocates the necessary funds. Sa DepEd, ginaanohan niya sila ng government, or let's say sa mga public schools, no, gina-provide talaga ang mga necessary funds or yung mga kailangan nating mga resources para at least masuportahan yung mga masuportahan yung ating comprehensive educational reforms. Next, we have section 2, or yung sa ano ko kanina, that is the only for understanding the RA 10533. Next, we have section 2, or yung sa ano ko kanina, that is the only for understanding the RA 10533. So for the section 2, the state's commitment to holistic education. So ano nga ba itong what's this holistic education nga ba? So holistic education is like preparing the student, no, para maging preparing the students for the preparing them for life's challenges. And this holistic education is aimed to develop the intellectual, the emotional, social, and physical abilities ng mga bata. So, the state shall establish and maintain the complete, inadequate, and integrated education system relevant to the needs of the people, the country, and to the society. So, dito na sa section 2 na to, in order for the students na maging prepare na rin, kailangan lang i-maintain yung mga complete and adequate resources natin para at least they need to maintain, no, the complete and adequate for the integrated education system, which is relevant to the needs of the people, not just for the people but also for the country and for the society. So next, the policy aims to produce graduates who are empowered individuals and equipped with, first we have lifelong learning foundation. So when we say lifelong learning, it is refers to the continuous learning and growth ng mga students. So there are key elements na there is a key elements which helps the individual navigate learning journeys and thrive in ever changing world, just like the curiosity, the self-motivation, resilience, and the open-mindedness ng mga bata. So yung mga key elements na yun, no, those foundations, it helps the individuals na mag-navigate and to thrive more in our ever-changing world. Lifelong, so okay, no, again, when we say lifelong learning foundation, those are yung mga principles that supports the continuous learning and growth ng ating mga students. Next, we have the competence for the productive environment, ability to coexist the harmonious and diverse communities, autonomous, creative, and critical thinking skills, capacity and willingness to transform themselves and others. That is under 4D, section 2. Now, let's proceed to the section 4. Kasi wala naman tayong section 3. Or, baka hindi ko lang siya na-include. So, for the section 4, for the section 4, the section 4 or the K-12 program. So, dito sa section 4 ito, no? Sa law. Kasi sa law, meron tayong mga sections. So, the K-12 program is under section 4. So, the Enhanced Basic Education Program encompasses 1 year of kindergarten education for children at least 5 years old. And for next, we have 6 years old of elementary education, typically starting at age 6. So, kapag nag-start na yung sa grade 1 kasi, mostly yung mga yung mga edad ng mga bata or sa elementary, 6 years old talaga nag-start yung age ng age nila. 6 years old nag-start para pwede na silang maka-enroll sa elementary. And then 6 years of secondary education. Bakit siya 6 years? Kasi meron na tayong senior high school. For grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11. Grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. No, kaya siya naging 6 years. And 4 years of junior high. No, sabi ko nga, kaya siya naging 6 years kasi meron tayong 4 years sa ating junior high school. Typically starting at the age of 12. And then 2 years of senior high school, typically starting at the age of 16. So, yung K-12 natin, meron na siyang 12. Meron na siyang 13 years kasi kasali na yung kindergarten natin. Kasi under naman siya sa K-12 program. So, next we have the section 5, the culturally responsive language and curriculum. So, basic education is delivered in a language understood by the learners, recognizing the strategic role of language in formative years. So, dito sa section 5, especially sa mga kindergarten and elementary, they use the ginagamit nila yung language na which understood the learners. Like for example, sa kindergarten and sa elementary, kasi hindi pa man talaga makaintindi ang mga bata ng English, alang mag-English ka doon. So, kailangan mo ng mother tongue or yung language na pwedeng maintindihan ng lahat ng learners mo in order for them to learn. Or, now let's proceed. Or the mother tongue based or multilingual education or MTB or MLE is implemented in kindergarten and the first 3 years of elementary education. So, kaya kung maalala nyo during sa ating kindergarten and sa ating elementary from grade 1 to grade 3, meron tayong MTB at saka MLE, which means na pwede natin gamitin yung ating mother tongue base para maka-learn. O pwedeng gamitin ng teacher yung mother tongue based na mag-deliver ng kanyang mag-deliver ng mga discussion para maka-learn yung ating students. Pwede niyang gamitin yon as the instrument para maka-learn yung mga estudyante. And then the Filipino and English are gradually introduced as languages of instruction in later grades. So, later on, na-introduce na yung mga English and Filipino words natin para maging instruction sa ating learning. Yeah. Yun na yung mga instruction na ginagamit natin para maka-learn. But then, ginahinay-hinay pa din kasi hindi pa naman natin alam what are those, especially sa English, yung mga malalalim na term. Alam naman English ka doon, ang mga estudyante mo hindi nakaintindi. No. So, let's proceed. Now, the curriculum development, no. Wait. Yeah, tama din pala. The curriculum development principles. So, learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. So, yung ating learning approach is learner-centered yung ginagamit natin kasi subo na lang yan lahat ng mga teachers. But then the problem is the students na mga walang pakialam. And then the inclusivity and developmentally appropriate. Next, we have the relevant, responsive, and research-based. Culture-sensitive, contextualized, and global. Uses constructivities, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative pedagogical approaches. Kaya, yung mga hindi mo na masabi yung mga curriculum and yung mga learning strategy ng mga or the teaching strategy and approach ng mga teacher is walang basihan. So, lahat yan meron. And then, spiral progression approach for mastery of knowledge and skills. So, let's proceed to the section 7 and 8 or the investing in quality educators. So, in service training for current teachers to meet the content and performance standards of the new K-12 curriculum. So, tayo, kaya meron tayong tinatawag na OJT or yung in-service training para at least ma-meet natin yung content and standards and performance na kailangan natin sa bagong curriculum, which is the standards of the new K-12 curriculum. Then additional training for new graduates to upgrade their skills. So sa atin kaya din tayo pre-service train or OJT yung free service training is for us pag mag-graduate na tayo na para meron tayong enough skills para kung if ever man magturo, kasi di naman siguro lahat sa atin magturo, no? So, halimbawa lang, kung magturo ka, at least, yung skills mo, okay na. Pag magturo ka na ng mga estudyante. And then, training for school leaders to enhance their academic, administrative, and community leadership skills. So, next, we have hiring graduates from various fields, like science, mathematics, engineering, and etc. to address shortage in a specialized subject. Just like sa mga during sa grade 9, nag-start kasi yung specialized subject natin. Meron tayong, like for example sa KN kasi, merong ICT, EIM, Kukiri, no? Kaya, meron ng mga ganun para at least ma-address mo na kung halimbawa ano man yung gusto mo, no? Pwede ka nang maka-learn. Meron na kasing gano'n na curriculum. Yeah. Kasi kung wala yun, pwedeng hindi mo alam kung ano yung gusto mo. Or alam mo naman, pero wala ka namang knowledge doon. Wala kang alam. Mag-proceed ka lang nang wala kang alam. Ganon. So, kaya yun, gi-introduce, no? Nag-hire sila ng mga graduates from various fields para at least ma-address yung mga shortage and specialized subject sa isang public school. So, meron pa pala. Hiring graduates of technical vocational courses with TESDA certification. So, kapag nag-hire sila ng mga new graduates para sa technical vocational courses, kailangan nila ng TESDA certification. So, allowing higher education institution or the HEI faculty to teach in secondary education. Then, last, hiring practitioners with expertise in specialized learning areas on a part-time basis. So, kailangan kapag mag-hire ka din, no, kailangan din yung mga expert na para at least yung learning na makuha ng bata is enough or tama or with that is may mga basihan ba yung mga ginaturo ng teacher na yun or yung practitioners na yun. Okay, so now let's proceed to section 9. Guiding students towards future success. So first, we have regular career advocacy activities for secondary level students in coordination with DOLE, TESDA, and CHED. So sa senior high or sa secondary education or sa secondary level natin, meron na itong mga activity just like the just like sa amin. Example ko na lang sa amin. Kasi during sa senior high namin, meron kaming ginatawag na assessment sa TVL, strand. Also yung mga kukiri. Yung sa amin is sa TESDA yun. Parang certificate mo. Kasi yung certificate na yun, pwede mo siya magamit or pwede siya maging credential kapag mag-a-apply ka na ng work. Kasi sa assessment namin, yun na yung ginakuha ng mga ano ba yun? Ng mga teacher para makaturo ka. Kasi pag wala yun, pwedeng hindi ka matanggap kasi kulang yung mga kailangan mo. So, kailangan mo mag-apply nun. Kailangan pa mag-training. Kasi nag-training kami nun. Pero, yun, libre yun. Pero kung magkuha ka, ngayon, hindi yan, libre. So, yun yung mga activity ng mga DOLE, TESDA, and CHED para maging or para na rin yun sa future success mo. Isang future success ng isang student. So, next, career and employment guidance counselor are allowed to conduct career advocacy activities. So, dito sa career... Sorry. So, for the career and employment guidance counselors are allowed to conduct career advocacy activities. It is also important. Like, for example na lang, yung ginawa namin last time also, na meron kaming OGT. No, imagine, secondary ka pa lang pero may OGT na kayo. But then, that is for para naman yun sa career mo, and then guidance, no? Especially guidance ng counselor para maging successful ka. So, doon sa OJT namin na yun, no? Gi-guide kami ng aming, syempre, yung aming major professor, no, or teacher, na ganun ang gawin, ito ang gawin, no? So, yung mga activity na ginakandak nila, para din naman yun sa atin. Para maging successful tayo in the future. So, let's proceed to the section 10 or dito sa section 10 may under dito na law, which is the RA 8547, supporting students and teachers in private education. So, benefits of Republic Act number 8545 expanded government assistance to students and teachers in private education act are extended to qualified students under the enhanced basic education program. The DepEd engages the private education institution and non-DepEd schools offering senior high school through programs under RA 845. So, yung dito sa RA na to, ginasuportahan talaga nila yung financial assistant ng students and the teachers even sa high school and teachers in private education, no? And then the key points of this RA or under the or section 10 na may kasamang RA is to aim to democratize access to quality education by supporting private educational institutions. So, kahit yung private, no, ginatulungan pa rin yan sila para at least yung mga yung access nila sa quality education is same pa rin. But then, yung ibang ngayon, private school, parang nahuhuli na sila sa mga new curriculum. Yeah. I don't know, pero yan yung narinig ko sa ibang campuses. Ibang students from other campuses. So, next, let's proceed sa na tayo? RA Republic Act number 8371 or sa IPRA or the Indigenous Peoples Rights Act of 1997. So, Republic Act 8371 is also called the Indigenous Peoples Rights Act of 1997 or the IPRA, is a landmark law that recognizes, promotes, and protects the rights of indigenous cultural communities or ICCs and Indigenous Peoples Rights Act in the Philippines. It ensures that their culture, traditions, and ancestral domains are respected while promoting their participation in national development. So, yun na yung sabi ko noon, that this law is for the indigenous people in order for them to protect their rights and the indigenous communities and culture and also the tradition ng mga indigenous people natin. So, content, the Article 2 or Section 22, Section 22, recognition and promotion of rights of the ICCs or the indigenous cultural communities and IPs or the indigenous peoples. So, Article 12, Section 5, Protection of Ancestral Lands and Domains. Article 14, Section 17, Respect for Culture, Traditions, and Cultural Traditions and ano yun? Properties. Okay, so naman ito ay. Oh, let's proceed, no? So, the 1987 Philippine Constitution laid the foundation for IPRA, or the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act. It explicitly mandates the state to protect indigenous peoples' rights, particularly their ancestral lands, and to ensure their cultural integrity. So this constitutional basis highlights that IPRA is not an isolated law but a fulfillment of the state's duty under the Constitution. So IPRA has four bundles of rights. So IPRA grants ICCs or IPs four bundles of rights. So first we have the right to ancestral domains and lands. Later on, i-dig deeper natin yan. Pero let me introduce muna sa inyo kung ano yung four bundles na yon. Second one is the right to self-governance and empowerment. Third is the right to social justice and human rights. Fourth, or the last one, is the right to cultural integrity. So first, let's define the right to ancestral domains and lands. So ancestral domains are more than just land. They include the environment, culture, and spiritual connection of indigenous communities. EPRA goes beyond the religion doctrine by recognizing that ICCs and IPs have inherent rights to ownership over their ancestral domains. These are private but community property meant to be preserved, not to sold or destroyed. Ownership of lands, waters, sacred sites, hunting, fishing grounds. So, dito sa first bundle na to, ginaprotektahan ang kanilang mga ownership over their ancestral domains, so such as the ownership of lands, waters, sacred sites, and hunting, fishing grounds. So, dito sa law na 8371, this first bundle safeguards those na mga pag-aari ng indigenous peoples. So, the key points of this bundle is the right to develop resources and stay in territories, protection against displacement, regulation of migrants' entry, and maintain ecological balance. So, the second one is the right to self-governance and empowerment. IPRA empowers ICCs and IPs to govern themselves according to their customs and traditions. It requires that no project, particularly those involving natural resources, be implemented without their free, prior informed consent. Representation in local councils and policy-making bodies ensures their voices are heard. So, this bundle, okay, so in this bundle, the EPRA, they empower themselves according to their customs and traditions, no? They empower themselves according sa mga nakaugalian at sa mga tradition na ng mga tradition nila. And then, it requires that no project, like for example, those government na kapag magsasagawa sila ng mga projects, particularly pag involved yung natural resources, which is pinagkukuhanan ng mga IPs ng raw materials in order for them to sustain or ma-meet nila yung kanilang needs, walang may implement na activity or yung project yung government kapag wala silang free, prior, or informed consent sa mga tao na naninirahan doon. The key points of this bundle is to respect for values, practices, and institution. Free prior informed consent or the FPIC before projects enter domains. So, yun na yung gimension ko kanina, no? Na hindi sila pwedeng magsagawa lang basta-basta kapag wala pa or hindi pa sila nakapagbigay ng free prior informed sa mga tao na nandoon. And then participation in decision making in local governance, customary laws, and the justice system. And then the third one is the right to social justice and human rights. So, indigenous peoples are entitled to the same rights and opportunities as other Filipinos. So, dito, parang sinali na nila yung indigenous people. Kasi, sometimes, yung mga yung mga normal people lang ang nagkakaroon ng mga social justices. Like, for example, those people na, let's say, they have the power. But then, yung mga indigenous people are parang neglected ba? Yung ginabaliwala. So, by this law, meron na silang right to social justice and human rights para at least hindi na sila magkaroon ng mga biases, especially injustice. Kasi kung sometimes yung mga tao kung sino lang yung tao na feeling nila magkakaroon sila ng benefit doon, yun lang yung kakampihan nila even though those people are yun naman yung may mali. And then yung mga the innocent one are neglected or hindi sila nabibigyan ng chance in social justices or yung fair na justice. And then the state must protect them from discrimination, exploitation, and violence. Kasi sometimes yung indigenous people natin, sila yung madalas nakakaranas ng discrimination in terms of their races, no? Kasi indigenous sila. And then, violence. So, IPRA also emphasizes the gender equality, ensuring indigenous women are guaranteed the same human rights and freedom. So, dito, no, gina-ensure na nila that kasali na yung mga indigenous people sa ating gender equality. And then those women, indigenous women, guaranteed na rin sila in order for them to have the human rights and freedom and equal protection of the laws. The key points of these bundles are the equal protection of laws, access to employment. Number one ito. Kasi sa employment, actually siya number one. Pero sometimes ito yung number one na problem sa employment. Dahil lang sa they are indigenous people, hindi na sila nagkakaroon ng access sa employment. Kasi yung ginakuha lang nila yung normal people. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, no, the indigenous people, kasi meron sa races nila, meron yung mga maiitim, mga kulot, no, minsan inayaan lang nila, ginabaliwala lang nila. Hindi nila alam that that specific indigenous people is na-meet niya yung kailangan nila dun sa trabaho na yon. But then yung kinuha nila yung isang normal Filipino na wala namang kakayanan doon or wala naman yung skill or hindi naman ano ba tawag doon? Hindi niya naman kayang i-meet yung skills and the creativity ng isang skills na kailangan doon sa trabaho na yon. And then, the education, nakakala nila, porket indigenous people, bobo na agad. So, hindi ganon. Kaya dito sa law na to, i-promote nila para at least yung mga indigenous people natin magkaroon ng access sa employment and sa services na rin. Protection, and another key points is the protection against coin and exploitation. And then, last one is the rights of indigenous women. Okay naman yan. So, the last one is the right to cultural integrity. Culture is central to the identity of ICCs and IPs. EPRA safeguards their right to preserve traditions, languages, spiritual practices, and sacred sites. It also protects their intellectual property, traditional medicines, indigenous knowledge, and artistic expressions from exploitation. So, dito na bundle na to, gina-preserve dito or gina-protektahan dito ang kanilang cultural integrity. So, dito sa cultural integrity, meron na silang ability na ma-preserve yung kanilang rights and ma-preserve yung kanilang mga tradition and languages, at the same time yung spiritual practices nila and their intellectual properties. Also, their tradition medicines, no, yung mga indigenous knowledge nila, pwede na nilang ma-preserve yon dahil sa law na ito and sa bundle na ito. Then, the key points of this bundle is the indigenous education systems, recognition of cultural diversity, preservation of customs, traditions, and sacred sites, and protection of cultural and intellectual properties. So, the last one is the conclusion. So, for conclusion, wait a minute. The conclusion of this act, or the RA 8371, is the Republic Act number 8371, the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, is a powerful reminder that indigenous peoples are not only part of the history, but active partners in national development. By protecting their ancestral domains, self-governance, social justice, and cultural integrity. So, EPRA ensures that the Philippine values both unity and diversity. So, that is all. Thank you for watching.